from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
Steam play.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam show for Saturday, December 28th. We made it back from the game last night. I want to thank Dave and Big Boss for a great time out at the Las Vegas Bowl last night, except for the part where they forced me to drink margaritas and beers. How dare they? Don't they know we have a show to do here today with a big NFL Saturday? Big NFL, important games in the NFL. We've got a bunch of bowl games about ready to go off right now in about less than 2 hours to kick off a full slate of bowl action here on Saturday. Make way for bowls all day here today. And also we've got big NHL card, lots of NBA, and even some college basketball today. We'll let the steam take care of the college basketball. I think I've selected just a handful of games because it's going to take a while to get through this card. So want to thank everybody here for joining me today, and we'll go to the chat, say hello here on Saturday, December 28th, and see what's going on here. There is some steam right now to report on, actually, but it's not in college basketball. It's in a big game today. How about this? A little bit of, I was breaking news necessarily here, but the move is coming in right now on the under in the BYU Colorado game. Don't want to say that we get some surprise opt-outs there. I don't think so. Maybe just a standard move here on a pretty high total with BYU and Colorado. It was 55. We're down to 54.5 here, it looks like. Maybe it was 55.5 actually in a few spots. So definitely seeing the first move here, at least since I turned on the old camera. Well, there was one before that, but kind of a nondescript move. So under here, BYU and Colorado, a little steam to get us going here on the morning steam. And did have a fun time, like I said, last night with the guys at the Las Vegas Bowl. And what a game it was if you missed it late last night with USC coming back to win over Texas A&M. It was 7-7 at halftime. Then A&M took a 24-7 lead in the third quarter with 4 minutes left in the third quarter. Look, the guys were like, this ain't great, right? They're kind of, first of all, was kind of stagnant in the first half, but man, the Trojans and their, what can you say? Their skill players, absolutely terrific. Lane, 3 touchdown passes. Lemon was terrific. The Trojans drove 80 yards right down the field and scored the game-winning touchdown on the opposite end, but that's okay. Scored the winning touchdown. That was my fault. Scored the winning touchdown with 5 seconds left. Maybe it was 9 seconds left. I don't remember. I was in a couple of cocktails, but had a great time. Hey, we had some Aggie fans. We had some SC fans there yesterday as well. So pretty exciting, pretty fun time out at the Las Vegas Bowl. And thank you again to Dave for setting it up and for Big Boss coming along. What, talk about an honor. That was my present yesterday. T. Moss was here to get us started this morning. Here's Cash Kane. Lando's here. Right? If you guys say anything in the chat, you're in to the drawing here for our consensus parlay. Couldn't come through yesterday, but hey, we're only 0-1 right now. Joe W here. He said he rocked. Alvin says they rocked yesterday. I was a game under 500 with my premium picks actually yesterday, but felt like, there was some winners on the show. Might have been okay. Hey, everyone, this is my right-hand man. My Ed McMahon is Thomas Lewis. Good morning to Thomas. Thanks for everything this year. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, Sports Money, here on YouTube, fastest growing sports betting channel on YouTube. Getting going here. I thought I saw a goal from Monza. What happened, guys? Are you guys watching Serie A here this morning? Johnny Walker almost just missed a 7-teamer yesterday. Philly Eagle Flyer here today. Jermaine's ready to go. There, Thomas. Thank you, everybody. I wasn't going to say anything. I told Dave last night the only reason I'm doing the morning steam 362 days a year is for this one day, for everyone, because I don't know who else. I do have some birthday cookies here. Got to admit, the fams take care of me here. I think they're Christmas cookies, but ready to go. We're in my breakfast, I think is what we got. Flea Mathis, hello. And Philly Eagle Flyer, thank you very much. And Cash Kane, thank you, Lando. Thank you, D Money. Thank you, Cash Kane. Let me throw a little celebratory on myself here. Troy, good morning. How about it? Great job last night. Man, I did have some I didn't send them out. I don't put any props on the service or anything, and I do like to make some props on those shows. And we throw a few out here or there, try to tell you. But I'm on the record with the guys last night. They were there with me, so I can talk about the plays I was on and see if Troy liked that. I went over on the. Now I did go under with Daniels, and he was a late scratch. In fact, we talked about the opt-outs. Texas A&M actually ended up with a few more opt-outs just within the last hours of the game there. And SC was really thin on the offensive line for sure, but they sure put it together. Mayaba had some bad throws, obviously, in the first half, but the line was having problems, especially when that big left tackle went out. But I did score with Mayaba over 274.5 yards. I almost tore up my ticket before they got going. 274 yards at plus 150. I had Jackson over 64.5 rushing yards. I had Lane over 53.5 receiving yards. I did have Reed of the Aggies over 15.5 completions. I went with Lemon to score multiple touchdowns for USC. I had the wrong guy. I did have Lemon over on the parlay with Daniels, but Daniels got scratched and it was a void. But had a great time out there with those guys, and what turned out to be, no doubt, a decent game yesterday, maybe the best of the bowl games yesterday. We did have USC as our premium pick yesterday. So did Mikey Money, had it on pre-gaming yesterday. David, hello as well. Shannon Moore, thank you. Andrew, hello. Nasty Nate's ready to go. Jim wants to fight on with SC. And somewhere, I think I have a picture of me and the SC members of the SC band. I think I'll chop my own face off, but I made them do it. I think they liked it more than I did. I was like walking right in front of them. I turned around there at about 6 or 7 USC band, all in their regalia, and I said, "Hey, I'm taking a picture with you guys." I'm kind of weird that way. Nasty Nate's ready to go with the Celts today. Strategic Investments, hello, thank you for being here today. And also we got There's Nasty Nate talking about the game with Vandy yesterday. Great job, Nate, with Diego Pop. The guy was passing for touchdowns. He was rushing for touchdowns. Didn't get them all right yesterday. We were kind of up and down in college football, but we got this one right. We had the over on the show yesterday, and I did have Vanderbilt, of course, as a premium pick. Winner yesterday, Tech outgained Vandy 395 to 305. Turnovers almost cost them early, late, but Pavia ran for those 2 touchdowns, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, and passed for 3 touchdowns as well. Vandy with their first bowl win in 11 years. And like we said, Georgia Tech, they just don't beat SEC teams. So we were on Vandy in that game. So we got one right yesterday. 3-2 in my premiums there with the other premium pick winner we had was on Navy in the game against Oklahoma. Big time comeback there by Navy. Hope you got it. I want to be fair. Some latecomers, this line we had on the show, obviously we had a winner, no doubt, as a 2.5 point dog when we were on the air yesterday, right? But shortly after we were on the air, the line started to move. Navy ended up actually the 1 point favorite. So hopefully you guys were with me early, or maybe you were on Navy already. It felt like we were all on a lot were on Navy yesterday here in the chat. So hopefully that was okay for everyone yesterday, and they got the winner. I'll respect you if you didn't. We sent it out at a plus 2.5, and we sent it out pretty early. We sent it out well before the show, but I'll accept the responsibility for thank you, Jermaine, as well. And strategic investments there, I think, like in Boston College here. Thank you to Johnny, Nate the Great. Thank you, Jim. Thank you. And thank you, Robert. Thanks for all your support this year. And Cash Kane, super true today. Thank you for being here. Fernando, thank you so much. I should be thanking you all the time here. We're kind of light on the international football action. Like I said, I'm watching Serie A here right now. No goals yet. I don't know what happened. I thought I saw Monza score a goal. Probably was offside or something here. And our Tomps, thank you. Everyone, support me here on the channel. Michael Piccioni, thank you. Subhuman, hello, thank you. Alvin, Alvin, it was a 17-point game. So I can't forget about that. Actually, I'm giving myself a loser on the premium pick there yesterday with Syracuse and Washington State. Now, to be fair, a lot of people were on. I think a lot of Syracuse backers had been on Syracuse prior to not talking about the laying the 3, 5, 7, 9, whatever it was, but maybe something under 17 in the run up to the game, but not me yesterday with what I sent out. So I did give myself a loss in that game as they won it by only 17 points. While it was decimated, we talked about it. Everybody was out. Who was coaching that team? I think they said, but they fought hard. You knew when they got 2 touchdowns early on, it was going to be tough for them to get the cover, even though Syracuse did have the money there for a little bit in the second half. But McCord, 450 yards and 5 touchdowns. It was only a 7-point game with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. When I checked it out, I was, already at the Vegas Bowl, or I was watching it in the Uber. And I said, Dave, I waited out after, the Uber ride out was $80. So I decided to sit around for 45 minutes. And, maybe I was a little perturbed at the result on the game total, because Big Boss had it over. He had it right. I had the under. So I had to wait an extra 30 or 45 minutes, let that surge go down to $40 or something before I could leave the stadium. Don't call me cheap, call me frugal. Thank you, Sub. Robert jumped on that Navy action at halftime. And I think that's it here. Henry might be talking a little international play here. I think Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Okay. I'll cover a couple more notes here on what was the other? Oh, Arkansas. We whiffed on that one for sure. Consensus was on Texas Tech. I feel like I talked you into that one, though, and we whiffed on that one for sure with the side and the total. As I had Texas Tech, but Green, 31 yards per completion. I said it would look an ugly game. It was for Texas Tech. They had guys, their secondary was a mess in that game. Guys were running north, south, left, right, straight, horizontal, vertical for Arkansas. They had 560 yards. They led by 5 at halftime, went on for the win. So I think that was it in college football yesterday. So we'll have more today for sure. Man, we got to get started with the show. Let me plug the commercial. Hopefully, hey, maybe at least instead of okay, here we go with Sub. He's got some more action here with the late games here in Italy today. And he's got Inter and under 4.5, and Atalanta minus a quarter of a goal here today. Inter is the next game up at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, and Atalanta and Lazio go off at 2:45 Eastern, 11:45 Pacific. So, all right. Well, was hoping, I think I'm officially on a little bit of a losing streak here. I think we had a day yesterday. What did we do? 8 wins and 9 losses in that premium pick action. So, please check me out over at Winnable. Maybe for my birthday, you can tag on a subscription. How about that? Go over to winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM. You can get my picks for today. Already up there, all my bowl picks. I mean, we're only 90 minutes away from the first one, so we're going to focus on football here for the most part today. I need to have a winning streak. We'll have a card in NBA and NHL. College basketball, we're going to pump the brakes just a little bit on the early action, I think. And then we're going to come in with a card, though, here. Here, I want to make sure we get a winning card here today with a little bit of a tailspin last couple days. Can't seem to get over the hump. So check me out over at winnable.com. Use the promo code STEAM. Get my plays for today for just $4. So if you're going to get about, I don't know, 20 plays or more. So it's pretty inexpensive, really. And $8 a week, $20 a month. That's 50 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM. I'm going to give you my best plays that I kind of got here, except my best are the plays behind the paywall at winnable.com. So I'm going to give you free winners every day here on the show, but you can get more action from me by clicking that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. That'll take you over to my winnable page over there, and you can set your notifications even if you think I'm that good, and make sure you don't miss any of the plays. You don't have to play them all. You can play them all. I'm a high-volume player, but it lets you know who I'm on some great games today. I think we have a game pick in every bowl game, but I think the Arizona Bowl, even I had to draw the line somewhere with that one. And we're involved in all 3 NFL games. So please check me out over at winnable.com. Okay, thanks a lot for listening to that. And going to get ready to get the show started because I don't know how in-depth we can get on these because I do want to cover all my favorite sports today. So let's go to the NFL. Why not? Why not on my special day go with my favorite team here, at least in the NFL, with the Chargers on the well. Look, I typed these lines in preparation for the show because I knew I was going to that game last night, but I didn't know we were going to have a full 1.5 move here on the Chargers today, up to 6 or so. Maybe it was already lower. Maybe I typed in an old number there. It feels like because, man, the Chargers, a 6-point favorite. You know, I got to like the Chargers. Come on. We're playing great. We're going to the playoffs here, it feels like. So why wouldn't I be on my Chargers today against the Patriots? But hey, let's be fair. Let's talk about a few things with the teams and see if there's a chance, because there's no doubt there's not much value with the Chargers. I don't think this move is based on any kind of personnel issues or anything here. It feels like with the Patriots, it mostly just feels like maybe public sentiment, maybe the Chargers a little bit, maybe they are just a little bit healthier here in the run game today with Dobbins now probable here in this one to take care of the running game that the Chargers need. Will Dissly questionable. Certainly would like to have him in there, especially if Hurst also, who could fill. Dissly's become the man. We know that. Uh, for the Chargers as that at tight end is concerned. But Chargers have lost 3 of their last 5, but they were relatively tough games, I think, for the most part. Chargers 4-1 against the spread as road favorites this season. It feels like the right type of role for Harbaugh, and maybe the Chargers can, they're an outsider as far as the playoff contenders are concerned. Now, certainly, that looks like they're in the postseason, but I'm not going to lump them in there. I'm not going to fool myself here. It'd be great to get a playoff victory somehow, but the key for the Chargers here is that, well, they actually have something to play for. I mean, they can work this outright, and the way it kind of sets up, if they can make sure they win out here, they could end up playing Houston rather than Baltimore on the road. That feels like a big difference to me. They probably know that as well, I would assume. So why not take advantage of a New England team that definitely is not great at covering any kind of number? 2-3-1 against the spread at home this season, 3-6-1 against the spread last 10, and 2-3 against the spread in their last 5. New England led that game last week at Buffalo, and they ended up, losing the game. They got the money, no problem, but New England just 23-1 as an underdog in their last 36 games overall. Drake May just 2-8 as an NFL starter. Patriots have gone over in 5 of their last 6 games at home, but the Chargers are 1-6 to the under on the road this season. So definitely have a contrast here between these two. New England's dominated the series, but this is even the Chargers are a notch above at this point. Even if the Chargers are B and the Patriots are, they're D. Let's face it. So it does feel like you have a playoff team with something to play for, and maybe that's kind of been the move too, a little bit here. Chargers did win the game last year here in Foxborough to win. Let me see. That was a weird game, right? Well, what 6-0. 6-0 last year to snap the Patriots' 7-game winning streak over the Chargers. So hasn't been a good place for the Chargers. They've just 1-5 in their last 6 games here in Foxborough, but they feel like the team with the momentum. So I'm going to take the Chargers, you guys. I know they got to cover a touchdown, and yeah, the Patriots have been getting some money here and there, I guess. Hey, I've got some college basketball steam while you guys maybe type in your play in the Charger game. Oh, man, it's coming in here. Oh, we got a football move, too. South Carolina and Illinois in their bowl game. See the total here moving over in the bowl game between South Carolina and Illinois. That game is not today. That is on next Tuesday. But the total here is 49 and a half or so. This one was 48 at some spots just a few minutes ago. They're already tacking another. That's some sharp action right there, hitting the over on that South Carolina Illinois game. Also, Abilene Christian took the steam here, plus 23 and a half for Abilene Christian against Texas A&M. It was 24, but now it's going to be 23 at least here, maybe even lower. Abilene Christian taking the steam against Texas A&M. All right, I'm going to go in here and see what we've got with the Chargers and the Patriots. Thank you to Erica today, right? They used to have, remember the man on the other channel with the, I'll say the man on Pete. Pete. I would never say just the man. Pete was famous for the birthday play, and now it's my birthday, and I've got to give out the play. What? All right, Pacific taking some steam here right now in the game against St. Mary's today. Wow. All right, it was 22, maybe down to 21 here. UOP taking the steam against St. Mary's. Good on you, Sharps. Big worms at 4 days, $4 a day worm. If I see you in there and you sign up for a day, I'll give you a week. How's that? Big worm. I don't know what your handle will be, but let me know what it is. Here, I'll do it for anybody. It's my birthday. I'll give out the presents. Anybody who signs up for a day, will give them a week. How's that? That'll drum up. That'll pay for those cocktails. Last day. Thank you to Dave again. He was making me feel those guys. I mean, they didn't know. I kind of sprang it on them a little bit. It was more of a secret there, and hey, it's always a good, easy way to get out of the bill. But I'm 56 today. Another trip around the sun here. Fernando's going to lean to the over. And Dirty Red says he likes the Pats probably to cover this one. Maybe I'm homering it up here on the show today, feeling it a little bit after a good time last night. All right, to Nasty Nate. And, Nasty Nate, big Pats fan. I'm a Chargers fan. Nasty Nate, I think. I'm pretty sure he's Pats, right? And, they always remember the man. We had the Patriots one time. We had them beat. Never forget that game. We had them. And we blew it. All right, Wyoming is taking some steam. I wanted to cover the Mountain West games a little bit. Of course, I'm going to talk about San Diego State today and their nationally televised game against Utah State. But the Mountain West has got such a bad TV deal. They run their games on their website. So I didn't preview the other games, but here's Wyoming taking some steam in their game against Nevada. It was 7, probably down to 6 here right now with Wyoming taking the steam against Nevada. I don't think I mind that too much there. All right, let's see here. And we're on blue. We're on the Chargers and the Patriots here. Robert's on the Chargers. And Drake May. Maybe Blue likes Drake May. R. Thompson's on the Chargers. Jim says too many points. I kind of get that, right? I wouldn't want to. It really wasn't too much more though, right? I mean, it was mostly a 4.5 here for the most part all week, right? Some places opened it as high as 5.5 or 6. It actually went down a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, but then ended up here. Here's Irish King here today. Thank you. Here's Lando going under in this one. And thank you to Elliot as well. We've been fine, right? Elliot's told us all week about the East Carolina Pirates here today. We'll get to the game, but he was already on it. Man, we got to get to these games. Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Wine Time as well. Thank you, Nuke. I'm going to sit here and watch football all day here. And Lex, thank you as well. And Nasty Nate's got the reverse jinx going, he says here, I think. All right. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, that's what I told Dave. I said, hey, I do the show just for this one day. Like it, smash it, rub it down. Johnny Walker likes the Chargers in the first half. Blue said, do you think the Devils game goes over? I was saying yesterday, right? Didn't we go on the show? Or I think it was a premium actually yesterday in hockey. Devils game to go under. They've gone under in 10 straight. Well, now they've gone under in 10 of 11. Lee Anthony, thank you for your support here on the Sports Money Network. And Robert, going to take the Pats. I don't blame these Pats guys here a little bit. This is an inflated line here. I'm homering it a little bit, but I don't like the Patriots in the spot actually. And if I got the Chargers here, maybe it will be close. And Robert says, how many? I think Dobbins is going to be we'll have Vidal also. So, okay, Philly Eagle Flyer, also some hockey. They've got to keep moving here right now. I think we're done with the Chargers game in this one. And I'm taking the Bolts. And I've got a premium play over at winnable.com on that one, on the total. All right. Broncos and Bengals here, a pretty important game. We've got two playoff, contending teams. Now the Bengals are hanging on for dear life at this point. They are the team totally on the outside looking in here. Even if they win, it's still going to be very difficult. But they're, the last team here still with a chance, and they're at home, so they're favored. That's what it feels like to me. Broncos, look, they could, they could lose and still be in, but a win and you're in pretty much with the Broncos today. So I think they've got plenty of motivation here. And come on, the Bengals to me, well, let's just let the chat speak maybe on this. I'll get the preview going here a little bit for this game, but there we go. Make sure I get it right here. All right. With the Broncos and the Bengals in this one, you got Broncos coming in here 9-6 here at this point. They are just 4-2 against the spread as a road underdog. I say just because I'm rambling. They're 4-2 as a road underdog this season against the spread. 6-2 overall in their road games against the spread. They covered a couple times as a favorite. Broncos led at halftime last week. They did not have a good second half against my Chargers, and they ended up, ending that winning streak. So Chargers, what can you say? They pretty much rocked them there pretty much in the second half. So Denver leads the Bengals. It is pretty comfortable here, but again, they're going to already, know that this game goes a long way in securing that playoff spot. So I get it. The Bengals, maybe they've shown some life, but they're 2-5 against the spread at home this season. They've done their best work on the road. For some reason, the road teams won this game, the last four matchups in the series. The Broncos are 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last five trips into Cincinnati. The series has gone under in 4 of the last 5 games between these two teams. But, well, these two teams have been putting up some overs for sure here this season and of late. You're laying a huge tax here. It feels like at 50, but I feel like it's got a better chance to go over than it does to stay. That's why I'm going to end up here giving it as my free play. I'm going to go over still at 50 here, knowing that this is probably a good tax here of over the honest line, probably 2 points or so in this one. Now, some of the openers were right around this number here, but there were some sharp openers that were a little lower than this. These two teams have gone 19-10 to the over this season combined, so they're in the roles that they do seem to go over here. The Broncos 5-3 to the over on the road, and the Bengals are 5-2 to the over at home. The widely reported steam did come in on the over. You wouldn't be wrong if you like the under, I think, with the inflated price. I just think we're going to end up, look what happened to Denver last week in that game with the Chargers, and look at these Denver scores here of late. Yes, I think their defense is fine, but the Bengals, they're in a last-ditch effort here, last hands on deck, whatever you want to call them. Irish King says it was easy money in the NBA last night. Man, I'm going to need some help. Curtis, hello. Robert, though, likes the Bengals in this one and the over. Cash Kane likes the Bengals. Blue likes the Bengals team total over. Got a lot of Bengals support here for sure. Thomas liking the Bengals. It might be a consensus for the Bengals here. Robert, there it is. He said on the over. Thank you. RVD, thank you. Here, Blue might like the Broncos team total over. I think Irish King, he likes something 34-17. Thank you too, Robert Franklin, as well. Fernando says the Bengals to roll these guys right now. And Thomas says, there it is. We're underway with the Cincinnati Bengals to lay the points against the Denver. Could the Bengals be turning it around right now? Get a win here, increase their chances for a playoff. They'll still need plenty of help. They'll need everything to go their way, even if they win this game. They're chasing, not only those playoff teams, but they've got the Colts and the Dolphins with also 7-8 records right now. And the Bengals have the least chance of all three teams. But could they turn it around here, win this game, cover the spread, and somehow make the playoffs? Our Tom Sykes over here. Lando has some props action. Irish King says the money ain't here. Old E, hello. He's coming off of a strong day yesterday. Tom Regar, hello, thank you. Here's Johnny Walker. He wants the Bengals team total over, and D Money's on the Bengals. Oh boy, man, you guys are on these Bengals for sure here in this one consensus play. All right, we're going to keep it moving here right now with the last game with the Cardinals taking on the Rams here in this one. And look, the Cardinals are the team right now. They're the spoiler in this game, right? But they haven't been looking too good of late. They faded here. They, not going to the playoffs, obviously, now with what's been going on with their tailspin here. And the Rams have won 4 in a row. And the Rams are thinking, their fortunes have turned here dramatically right now in command here in the NFC West right now. And if this is winning you're in for the Rams, they're still in pretty good shape. If they lose, it's still going to be tough, because you've got these other West teams right on their heels right now. The Seahawks, 9-7 right now, in second in the NFC West. So they're breathing down the neck of the Rams. And so the Rams have the motivation here. The Cardinals, all they can be is spoiler here. It feels like, what am I missing? I guess the Cardinals have the, they've got Kyler, they've got Harrison, they've got Connor. But the Rams have been very sharp here, it feels like, of late. All right. Go ahead, chat. We'll just talk about the Cardinals 2-5 straight up on the road this year. They did win those 2 wins. They were both by 1 point, but they did win 2 road games. But ever since that bye, man, the Cardinals are 1-4 and lost 4 of the 5 games on the road. So they had a home, kind of a home heavy schedule early on, but now they're playing here. It's already their 4th road game in the last 6 games. They played on the road last week against Carolina. That didn't work out. I mean, they failed in that one as a favorite. So not great for the Cards. Now they are 4-1 against the spread as an underdog this season. So that would be the, place to look here with the Cardinals. And the Rams are just 3-4 against the spread at home. They've won 8 of their last 10, however, is one of the hottest teams in the league. And Rams here 0-2 as a home favorite. They were actually dogs. They've had, personnel issues all year that kept them as dogs in some of those games, even a couple of division games as a home dog, but they've overcome that. They've actually put together, maybe what we expecting for the Rams when they're all healthy and everything. Even with Cooper Kupp kind of, I don't know, he's disappeared a little bit over the last couple weeks, but I've talked about Robinson. He didn't really have that great of a game, I don't think, last time either, because, well, what can you say? Puka Nacua. These quarterbacks are great, man. Puka Nacua should at least get some votes for an MVP, even if it's not first place. I mean, this guy, he's insane out there, right? Okay, let's take a look here. Remember, Arizona also, they destroyed the Rams in that game in Arizona back in week 2, 41-10, and outgained the Rams like 500-250 or something like that. But Cardinals just 2-6 straight up and against the spread last 8 years coming into LA. 5 of the last 7 between these two teams have gone over. Cardinals have been a serious under. And you look at the roles of these teams, Cardinals 2-5-1 to the under as an underdog. Rams 1-5 to the under as a favorite. All right, see what the chat wants to do here. I'm going under for sure. Pretty much kind of based on those stats, and I think the Cardinals might be in for it here. But let's see. I know that's a lot of points, and I'm guilty of laying some points here. It feels like today, but let's go to the chat and see what's going on with the Cardinals and the Rams. We got to keep this show moving. Going to start it off here. Thanks for the guys. I see Arnez here today. He's on the Bengals. Nasty Nate said Bengals smash. Here we go. Also, Chase Brown over for Johnny Walker in that other game. Here we go. And we're wrapping up the NFL, thinking about, hearing about the passing of Greg Gumbel yesterday. Man, talk about a consummate professional. I've watched that guy a long time, didn't we? Okay, here we go. Cash Kane says, I like the home teams today. Here's Cash Kane says, Rams and over. Jermaine's got some action there in the NHL. There's a Nakua TD. Johnny Walker, I think, saying to take out those cards. And Robert Franklin says it's actually a letdown spot for the Cards, right? Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get up to be the spoiler when maybe expectation. Look, the Cardinals, they shouldn't have expectations, but they actually did end up with some expectations. It felt like another bad season for the Cardinals in the end. Robert likes the over here in this one. And Johnny Walker is ready to go for that Wong action in this one with that juicy line there at 6.5. Maybe we'll Wong them up with the Chargers or something here. Robert's got a little teaser action there. Philly Eagle Flyers talking hockey. Here's our Tom's has the over in this one. And Lando likes the alternate under here. That might be it in this game. We got to keep the show moving. Pardon me, you guys. All right, that's it. That's pro football only already. Let's go to college bowl action. We might have to rattle these off. It feels like here today. Let's get to the action in the bowls because we got one coming up here in just a little over an hour. In this one from Fenway Park with hold on a minute. North Carolina's playing in Fenway Park. Is that a conspiracy theory here? Well, apparently Coach isn't going to be there for the game. Or maybe he is, but apparently he's not going to be there for the game today. I don't know why you wouldn't. Don't you want to know what you're getting into here? Maybe he is there. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, North Carolina is a favorite here against UConn. North Carolina favored here by 2.5, and the total 53.5 here in this one. Let's talk about this game here. And our first two games are in baseball stadiums. So are they really bowl games? All right. Carolina looked pretty weak there down the stretch, didn't they? They lost their last two games, giving up big-time points in those final two games of the season. The Tar Heels here 5-1 against the spread last 7 games as a favorite. Just a terrible roll for these guys this season. Meanwhile, UConn, they finished relatively strong against UMass. They didn't cover, but they did win. They also covered against UAB. They beat Georgia State. They beat Rice, but got some pushes there. They failed against Syracuse. So not terrific against the spread overall, but like I said, Carolina just dismal as a favorite. So I'm not sure I want to take too much of a chance with these guys in this role here. Connecticut seems to be getting the attention of professional handicappers today. Connecticut's won 4 of their last 5 games. They were 2-2 as an underdog this season against the spread. So the ACC has won the Fenway Bowl. This is only the third Fenway Bowl, but the ACC has won both times here at the Fenway Bowl. So let's see what you have here in this one with Connecticut and Boston College. We do have, Connecticut and North Carolina. We do have, of course, the other news that I know we know it, but I think it was confirmed even. O'Marion Hampton isn't playing in this game. I mean, he's a great running back with 17 touchdowns this season. He can catch the ball out of the backfield, does a really good job, but he will not be in this game. And of course, for North Carolina, and feels like for Connecticut, it feels like Connecticut is pretty good to go here in the game. So, okay, if you guys want to comment, we can't. I want to spend more time on these games, but we really can't here. And so Kitchens, coaches, Carolina here. It feels like, some things are kind of still in place here. It feels like for a little bit. Carolina missing 6 starters, 3 on the defensive line, and Hampton, of course. UConn misses 5 starters. Should be cold today, but good conditions. It feels like today. Anybody up there in the Northwest? So, all right, take a look at this one with anything here. Lando likes Connecticut. And that might be it. Fernando is leaning towards the over here. All right. All right, I'm going to try the under in this one, not to knock against my man Fernando, the next great quarterback at the University of Indiana. But I'll try the under here in this one. Yes, of course I did. Of course, Thomas, up in the Northeast there. Yep. All right, Bill Eagle Flyer likes Connecticut. And I'm moving on, though. Anybody wants to chime in, go ahead. We got to keep it rolling here right now. We're just going over the Bronx, going to Yankee Stadium here for Boston College, taking on Nebraska in this one. And, well, Boston College is an underdog here in this game against Nebraska. And, hey, come on. You got to think that it's probably good that these two teams are playing here in Yankee Stadium, right? Nebraska's going bowling here for the first time in 8 years. But, while the game is close to the Bronx, close for Boston College, you think maybe Nebraska will have fans there in the Bronx for sure. I think it's going to feel at least 50-50 Husker Nation. They travel. They're already there. I mean, Huskers are everywhere, believe me. So Boston College might be the better team here on paper, but Nebraska, you got to think they were, played the tougher schedule in their conference. Nebraska missing 4 starters and had 24 players in the portal. They seem to be the team a little bit more affected here coming into this game. And see what you guys have here on some of the numbers in this one. You guys can chime in here. Boston College, let's see, 5-2 against the spread as an underdog this season. They went over in 6 straight games coming into this one. For Nebraska, they actually lost 5 of their last 6 after that pretty good start. And this is great. They're in a bowl game, man. I mean, for Nebraska, it feels like almost an insult that takes so hard. This team should be in a bowl every year. Come on, this is Nebraska, but that hasn't necessarily been the case. Now, the Big Ten team has won the Pinstripe Bowl 7 straight times here. So can Nebraska do it? Can they get the money? I've got the over here in this one. The widely reported steam came in on the over. Open mostly 45.5 or up to 47 here. I'll take the over with Boston College and Nebraska today. Looks like 3 out of every 5 tickets are on the under. What do you guys have in this one with Lando says take BC on the money line. Grab that plus money. Cash Kane likes BC here. Says lay 4 today. Get that money. Unless he's saying take 4, but maybe he's saying lay 4 here. And Philly Eagle Flyer says, buy it up, put it in a parlay, use it. BC will be competitive in this game. Textile says it's raining in New York. It's cloudy. Robert likes the over with me in this one. I'll take the over here. And look, I'm Nebraska. You know, if I've got favorite teams, I definitely have some favorite teams, basically just over my life with interacting with people. But Nebraska is one of my teams. I don't know if I like them here. Here's Dana, though, likes Nebraska and over. All right, we're going to keep it moving here right now with the next one up. Going out to the New Mexico Bowl at in Albuquerque here with Louisiana taking on TCU. I like Louisiana in this game, you guys, don't you? I don't even know if I want to I might take Louisiana here on a little money line as well. Look, I understand TCU, they come in winning 3 straight. I think the line is too high for sure, but Louisiana was 5-1 on the road this season. Now we're in a bowl game, I get that here, but still, nonetheless, they did do good work away from home against the spread, and TCU was 3-5 against the spread as a favorite. Louisiana 2-1 against the spread as an underdog. I think there's going to be some volatility in this game. It does feel like we could see, look, it's a high total for sure, but it feels like that total may get threatened here in the game. It's up to 59 right now. TCU about a 10-point favorite here. 10 everywhere, it feels like right now in this matchup here. I like Louisiana. I'm sprinkling the money line. I'm gonna kind of sprinkle it officially here on the show. You know, when you sprinkle in it, you're putting a 10% play in there, maybe still going your unit play or whatever you like to do. But I gotta think. I think Louisiana is going to be hot commodity here. They're 10-3 coming in this one. Yeah, they had some losses down the stretch. I mean, at one point, remember they were 8-1. They lost to Marshall last time out, got blowed out in that game, of course, but they won and covered against Monroe. They won and covered against Troy. They won and covered against Arky State. You know, what do these teams kind of, you know, have there? They did lose to USA at home, but for TCU, they come in with wins over Cincinnati, over Arizona, over Oklahoma State. No doubt about it. Those are good numbers, good covers for TCU. I don't know if I can kind of give the Louisiana Raging Cajuns the favoritism that I'm giving them based on these statistics or momentum here. I just think it's a spot where TCU may be overlooking this type of bowl at the New Mexico Bowl, and Louisiana might have a little bit more motivation a little bit here. TCU, they don't blow anybody out for sure, despite covering in those games. Now, let's see. They did beat Arizona by 21 and Oak State by 25, but the other wins, and again, maybe towards the end of the season, maybe they are playing their best ball, but those were the only double-digit wins they had. Granted, good opponents, no doubt, in that game, but this game is the underdog has won 3 out of the last 4. They've covered all 4 of those games, so I've got to take Louisiana here in a wild one, and you know, maybe even the back door is open if that's what we need. I'll take the Raging Cajuns against the Frogs. All right. Cash Kane has Louisville in some action today. Tino, good morning. Hello. Robert Franklin has the over here. Thomas is on Louisiana. Robert McCormick is on Louisiana as well. And it's a consensus play. How about that? Okay, let's do it. Number 2 here, consensus action with Louisiana. Hopefully you guys were on it. And I mean, again, I try to sell you on it sometimes and say, hey, here's some, I don't know if I have the greatest of tidbits on the game. The matchup might be okay. And you look at the situation, it feels like kind of with the personnel right, in this game. I think if you look at it, how much will TCU be motivated? They don't have a bunch of players actually who have left. I think 4 starters, 9 players overall. I say, that still sounds bad, but that's kind of the average. It feels like Louisiana will have 5 starters out and 9 transfers as well here. So the big question, it has to be the status of uh, Woolridge here. He is definitely out in this one, but Chandler Fields will be in there today for ULL. So I'm going to roll here with ULL in this one. I know that might be a deal breaker for some people with Woolridge out of the game, but all right. Lando maybe went with the over here. And Nuke says, no doubt, you're going up, you're moving up in class here for Louisiana. And yeah, I just feel like TCU, what's my motivation? Okay, next up. We've got Iowa State here taking on Miami in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here. It also came in on Miami. Right now, the line here is Miami down to 3.5. So I said it came in on Miami, but the move here feels like it's on Iowa State over the last day or so. Down to 3.5 here, and the total is up to 59 here in this one. Kind of a big move for sure, but man, this one feels like fireworks today with Iowa State taking on Miami here in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. I like the raspberry pretty much. I don't know. I mean, I don't mind the birthday cake also. But I'm down on chocolate Pop Tarts. I'm not about I want the sweet, more sweet tasting contrast with the tart. And I do not mind eating my Pop Tarts raw. I think when I was a kid, more raw, but I think older now, we're gonna toast those things up. So Pop Tarts bowl here will. Let's see here. Let's make sure we got the right game info here. All right. Iowa State, they're obviously, I think Iowa State coming from the tougher situation anyway, the tougher conference here for the most part in this one. And feels like, the opt outs were pretty minimal here for these teams. So I think everything was good to go as far as the guys here in this one. Uh, yeah, I feel like this game is pretty clean for the most part here with these two. So let's see what you guys want to do here in the chat. I'm showing handicappers relatively split right down the middle for this one. So I just the fact, for me, feels like Miami, fails at the worst possible times half the time. So I'm going to take the Iowa State Cyclones plus some points. I think there will be heavy volatility here, maybe with a big score, possibly. So let's see what you got. And there's Stacking Cream. Thanks. Hey, thank you, my friend. TCU money line, Army money line. There you go. Gonna hang on to a big parlay play. Thank you. Thomas doesn't mind chocolate tarts. Blue does not mind. He does not prefer it. Iowa State here with me, with Robert. We'd be on the same one on this one, it felt like. And the Pop Tarts Bowl. I mean, you could choose worse bowls to win, right? I think the bowls you want to win, you don't want to win the Mayo Bowl because you get the mayo dumped on you. The Avocado Bowl, I might be down with that. I mean, we could have some guacamole dumped on you. That might be okay. But come on, the Pop Tarts Bowl, you want that one. Certainly the Idaho Bowl, you get French fries when you win that one. That seems pretty good. So, all right. I'm going to take Iowa State in this one. And Lando says he'll take over 5 boxes of Pop Tarts consumed I think. All right. Here, Nuke is saying, with Ward, could we see some late information here with Ward, in the game? So, I think we're all sitting on pins and needles for the most part, but okay, here we go. Next up. Okay, Miami O here taking on Colorado State. This was the tough one for me. I kind of made fun of it because it was the Arizona Bowl. It's probably the least attractive matchup here for sure, but just did feel like a tough handicap too for me. But because it's a solid matchup here, it feels like. Oops, I take the 405 to that game. All right, 40.5 is the total here. I had Miami minus 2.4 and the total 405. All right. There we go. We're going to fire the graphics man here. Miami missing 5 starters here, including their top 2 wide receivers here in this one. Colorado State will be without 6 starters this season. Does seem like the move's been on the under here. This one opened as high as 43.5, down to 40.5. Steam came in on the under, and I kind of like the under as well here at 40.5. This one being played in Tucson here. It seems like this Arizona Bowl, though, ends up with some goofy stuff late in the last. What was that one last year? Let's see. Let me talk about these teams. For the Red Hawks here, 11-5 against the spread last 16 games as a favorite. For Miami O, they've gone under in 3 of their last 4. They come in hot. Miami won 7 of their last 8 games down the stretch here after a bad 1-4 start. Of course, they have some experience certainly on this Miami team here. Feels like the move's been on them a little bit. For Miami here, they will be missing, like I said, a couple of offensive linemen here, veteran offensive linemen. And for Colorado State, 7-2 against the spread in their last 9. They played well down the stretch. They're coming in off of a win over Utah State, 42-37. They lost to Fresno, but they beat Wyoming and covered, beat Nevada and covered, beat New Mexico and covered, and finished very strong. Colorado State pretty good against the number here, 7-4-1 this season for the Rams. I will note though, 1-3 as an underdog this season. So I'm going to try the under here. I still think I might get a playoff here. I don't think I'm going to release it. I'll probably just bet this game. Colorado State's lost their last 4 bowls here. They haven't won a bowl game in 10 years. So we'll see here. Rams good against the spread right now, but not in the role of underdogs. So we'll see. Mountain West here has played in this bowl quite a bit. They are 6-2 in this bowl. They're invited to this bowl. They're 6-2 in this bowl. Their last 8 years here. So maybe that favors Colorado State a little bit here in Tucson. All right. We need all the bowls we can get. It feels like, and could the bowls be going away here with the NIL? We got to fix this. We got to be able to let these guys play. The problem with this, and I mentioned it, right? We got to try to fix the date for the portal, but remember, we're in the middle of the semesters at most of the schools, and that's when you transfer. So I don't know what they can do here. Can you transfer to another school and still play at another school? I guess if we're paying them half the time, I guess we can. Robert's on Miami O here. And we need a teriyaki bowl. All right. Here we go. Next up, East Carolina. Well, we don't even need a preview of this one. We've been told to take East Carolina all week here at the Military Bowl in Annapolis. So we'll get it straight from Elliott. We'll hear all about it. I mean, I'm not going to go against East Carolina, not after what Elliott's been telling us all week. Look, East Carolina wasn't going so good. They fired their coach, but you know what? They made the interim coach the full-time coach. That's a positive for sure. So East Carolina won 4 out of their last 5 games and come in here 3-2 as an underdog this season. They went over in 5 of their last 7 overall. The Wolfpack are a terrible favorite. They're 5-12 against the spread in their last 17 games as a favorite. 1-4 against the spread as a favorite this year. Who would want North Carolina State in the first place in this matchup, right? With North Carolina State, you're always looking for probably something a little better than the Military Bowl, although it's an honor to play in the Military Bowl. Should never look at it like that for sure. Now, these two teams did play a couple of years ago, and North Carolina State beat East Carolina. It was a season opening game 2 seasons ago. The final score was 21-20, and North Carolina State was a 12-point favorite in that one. Now, the favorites have dominated. Yep, at the Military Bowl. They're 4-1 in the last 5 games against the spread. The ACC has done well, 4-2 straight up, 4-2 against the spread in the Military Bowl last 6 times here. So, Blake Carroll, I think you'll be good for East Carolina. I'm sure that Elliott and the Pirates feel the same way. ECU probably the better team numbers wise this season. They certainly didn't play the schedule that North Carolina State did, but the North Carolina State, they will be playing their defensive coordinator left already after the season here. ECU is missing 5 starters for sure. North Carolina State, I think just 1 is what they're reporting. So that does favor North Carolina State, but let's see what you guys want to do here in the Military Bowl with East Carolina and North Carolina State. All right, I should have just put these comments on the screen and I could have saved my voice for 30 seconds here. They said this is it. This is like a Super Bowl for East Carolina here. And look, it's not that we're just piling on Taylor Elliott here. This East Carolina is a pretty popular play with handicappers today for sure. The steam came in on North Carolina State for the most part. I mean, they opened 5.5, and they got steamed up here to 7. So I can respect that. It feels like a little bit. North Carolina State 8-4, the over this season here. So thank you, Elliott. Enjoy the game today. I know I enjoyed my bowl game last. It's been a few years since. I don't think I've been to a bowl game since the pandemic. I was going to go to the UCLA when UCLA was going to play North Carolina State in the bowl game at the Holiday Bowl in San Diego a couple of years ago. It got called. I think I was going to go to that game out of the pandemic, and they got, I think it was the year after. I'm trying to remember, but the game got canceled. UCLA got COVID. So, hey, here's some. I do have a couple college basketball games while you guys maybe put a play in here real quick. Coppin State and Georgetown steam to the over here in this one. Maybe these two teams have had some unders, a few unders this season, but I don't know. I think Georgetown might put a number up here on Coppin, and this one could go over. Steams to the over here at 136. It's now up to 137.5, 138. Pretty sizable move. Pretty feels like a pretty strong move there, Coppin and Georgetown. Also, Bucknell took steam in their matchup against Syracuse today. Look, we know Bucknell can win this, can probably spring something on Syracuse. They're already playing pretty well. Syracuse, they're not covering in many numbers, that's for sure, right? So Bucknell here taking the steam against Syracuse today. The 13.5, probably down to 12.5 or so here. We know Bucknell can probably beat Syracuse, it feels like, or at least cover anyway. Let's not get carried away. But also left this one on the shelf a little bit, but Columbia taking steam here against Fairfield today. Columbia was a 9.5, 10-point favorite. They're probably up to 10.5 or 11 here. Columbia, they've been pretty popular with the Sharps, it feels like, this season, and they're taking them today so far against Fairfield. All right.
System play.
Anyways, did we make the call here with East Carolina and NC State?
Steam
Let me
play.
get a few more here. Well, let me get a little bit more college basketball steam. This is important today with our 30-game schedule. Fairleigh Dickinson and Boston College steam to the under here for sure. Boston College and these non-conference, I think they usually are pretty hardcore under, and we're seeing steam to the under here with F. Dick and Boston College. Justin, good morning. Hello. Thank you for your birthday wishes over here and on Facebook. Shout out to my family and friends watching on Facebook here. Robert liking the over Hennies here in the chat, liking Notre Dame. Was with Big Boss last night. You know, Big Boss, he's wearing his Notre Dame gear last night. Didn't matter who was playing on the field. And Justin says East Carolina team total over here in this one. All right. And Philly Eagle Flyers got some plays in there as well. All right, gang, let me make a call here right now on this one. Look, I'm on you. Look, I'm not saying that Elliott is touting the tout here or giving the tout his plays, but you know what I'm on in this game. I've got my insider. Here, it feels like, in this one. Give me the over, though, for my play here with East Carolina and NC State. Kind of getting frustrated some of these unders. I maybe went to the well too often in the bowl games, and we know the defenses can take some time off here in some of these, doesn't it? All right, I think Nuke likes State here in this one. And Julian, good morning and hello. He likes college basketball today. Man, like I said, I'm laying off a little bit early on college basketball because I want to have a good football card. You know, Dabby's going to have some of this football action with us. Thank you to Dabby here today. And Nunya, I had a great time with those guys last night here at the Allegiant Stadium. My first trip to Allegiant Stadium. All right. And Julian likes Davidson in basketball today. All right. And he got some other ones there too. Nunya, thank you. And I wish it started going back the other way at 56 years old today. But hey, if you guys will be with me here for the next, 5, 10, 15 years, I'll keep coming every day. All right, here we go. We got 2 more bowl games. We got to get to all this action, man. BYU and Colorado here with CU favored in this one by 3. A rare
Final
bowl game between conference opponents. Did they know? Did they know they were doing it? Did they not know that these guys were in the same conference? Because I'm sure they did, but still seems kind of funny. But hey, it's an okay matchup when you're here in San Antonio at the Alamo Bowl with these two. And let's talk about BYU and Colorado. And hey, look, these guys, you can say what you want, but they went out and got their own insurance, did the Colorado guys. They're going to play in the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably how you're supposed to do it nowadays. I don't know. Maybe they're ahead of the curve here. So Colorado's still just a 3-point favorite. BYU's had obviously a terrific season as well. They have lost 2 of their last 3, though, coming in. They lost to KU in that upset, and they lost to ASU as well. They were a dog in that one, played well. That was a great game, and they did come back to beat Houston, but they didn't cover, but just by a point or 2. So BYU's had a great season. Of course, Colorado rocked Oklahoma State in that finale, 52-0. They lost at Kansas to kind of shock things there a little bit down the stretch. So BYU 4-1 against the spread as an underdog this season, and with this coach, they've been strong in the underdog role, 25-14-1. Colorado here, they were 9-1 against the spread in their last 10. Imagine that, right? The public darling, over these last 2 seasons because of the Buffs, and they're 9-1 against the spread this season. That's pretty impressive. It feels like here for the most part. So let's see what you want to do here. Sanders 8-4, I guess, as a favorite in the ATS as a favorite, and Colorado's done well in the favorite role. Colorado's been here before. They played in this game a couple times in the last decade or so. Lost them both, but they've been here, have a little bit of familiarity, at least with the program coming in. So go ahead. Let's hear what you have to say, because we got to keep it moving here. They didn't meet, even though they're in the same conference. In that conference they have a lot of teams, so they didn't meet in the regular season for sure. So hopefully we get the guys in there. They're expected to play, so the market reflects, I think, that they're in there despite the slight move to BYU. The widely reported steam came in on the under, but handicappers are pretty hardcore to the over, it feels like, for the most part. And also some concerns that maybe, just maybe, you won't see Sanders and Hunter play the entire game, possibly. So, all right, let's see what you got in the chat. Not much, it feels like here. Dana, thank you. Dana, thank you to Julian as well. Here's Johnny Walker on the Buffs here. And Robert McCormick also on the Buffs here in this one. Nunya likes Colorado too here in this one. And I like Colorado in this game. I'm going to take the Colorado Buffaloes here as my play here on the Morning Steam show. Handicappers I follow pretty much split down the middle, although they are, like I said, pretty heavy on the over here. Colorado 6-2 against the spread as a favorite. BYU 9-3 to the over this season. All right. I think that's it for that one. We're down to the last game here. And again, this is one where, you know what? Louisiana Tech, they were on the outside looking in. You know what? I had a team like that too. In my world of high school football, I remember Louisiana Tech. So Louisiana Tech, they got in because of Marshall not having enough players. But you know what? For Louisiana Tech, that might be all the motivation they need against this Army team. They weren't awful for a 5-7 team, it feels like. Now, they didn't make it to 6 wins, but here, let's see. Louisiana Tech, they played a lot of close games this season and just kind of ended up on the wrong end of the score, but they covered all of them, it felt like. They were terrific down the stretch. They ended up 5-0 against the spread as an underdog. They beat Kennesaw, that's fine, but they covered against Arkansas as a big dog. They upset Western Kentucky as a double-digit dog. They covered against Jacksonville State as a dog, and they covered against Sam as a dog. They weren't great in those games, but they got the job done. So I don't know. Army here, they don't have their strong running back. He transferred to, we say they don't have transfers, but they did lose their running back to Arizona State. So they also, Army lost their offensive line coach. He went to be the coach of Central Michigan. But look, you are getting a discount here with Army. They were a 17-point favorite. They're down to 14 here in this one. So let's see what we can do in this game with Army and Louisiana Tech at the Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana, mind you. Still, Army's had that incredible season, and it almost feels like Look, and Army just when these teams get bowls, they're great. Army's won 4 out of their last 5 bowls, even though they haven't been to a bowl in 3 years. Uh, they're worthy of it. It almost feels like maybe a little slap in the face. I mean, Army probably should have been in a better game than this, but all right, let's see what you have here. Army went just 2-2 down the stretch. Lost to Navy, of course, lost to Notre Dame. No problem with that. But they didn't cover against UTSA. All right, Robert likes the over here in this one. Stacking Cream says daily to get 2 TDs here. And thank you to Joe for being here today. All right, let's see. Louisiana Tech also has won 4 of their last 5 bowl games overall. How about that? Yeah, we've seen them have some bowl success for sure. So, all right. For me in this one, I'm on the under actually in this one, guys, at 44, maybe even down to 40. No, 44 straight across there. Robert said over with him, but I'm going to go under here in this one. Army and Louisiana Tech. That's it for college football. That's all we've done so far is NFL, college football, and we've got to keep going, man. How are we going to get through all these games today? Let's start here. NBA. We're going to go fast. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning's Team Show. Lando's with me on the under there. Here we go, NBA. We're moving. So many sports here. Not quite ready on all the bells and whistles, but here we go with the Heat and the Hawks. Here in this one yesterday, NBA, we did have some premium winners yesterday, included we had the Clippers as a premium pick winner yesterday. Also, Dallas and Phoenix game to go under premium pick winner here yesterday. Also, we had the Knicks and the Magic game to go under as part of our 3-3 record there in the NBA. But we did have some show winners yesterday. Pacers, Celtics way over the total. Also, we had the Mavericks over the Suns. Also, shout out Mikey Money. He had the Cavaliers over the Nuggets on pre-gaming yesterday, and we did have the Warriors and the Clippers game to go under here on the show yesterday. So see if we can get it today, turn around, get over 500 this time. Start off with Miami taking on Atlanta. Here in this one, you got Atlanta, 2.5 point favorite, total about 225.5 here in this one. Atlanta. Here, let's see. Miami's 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games right now. They're having some clunky spot. Let's call it 1-7 their last 8 on the road. That's what it is. Miami's starting to struggle here a little bit on the road. The widely reported steam did come in here on Atlanta. We have 2 teams here that are definitely putting up some overs here of late. Atlanta's gone over in 12 of their 16 home games this season. Miami's 7-4 to the over as an underdog so far this season. 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under. Miami's 4-1 against the spread last 5 trips here into Atlanta. I'm feeling like I might take the Miami Heat here in this one. They took the steam. I'm going to grab the Heat plus a couple of points here against Atlanta today. Robert's on Atlanta. Jermaine's got some parlay action here as well. Thank you. We're going to go fast, you guys. Please be advised. Thunder and the Hornets here in this one. The widely reported steam did come in on the over here. The Thunder on a 4-game winning streak here right now, a 5-game winning streak on the road right now. They've won 9 of their last 10 overall. Charlotte's always getting the money against Oklahoma City in recent years here. Let's see. Charlotte's got the money 6 out of the last 7 times against the Hornets here right now. And maybe this one even could be a little bit too much. Now, the 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under here. So I don't know. They were steaming the over right now. It's at 218. The line there at 12.5 could be 11.5 here at a few spots right now. But let's see what you guys, if you have anything here. Charlotte's been losing though at home. They're not winning at home, that's for sure. But I might try them to get the money here in this one at 11.5. I'll move it to 11.5. And I'm probably just going to try to grab these points with Charlotte. They're on a losing streak here for sure, but they're not they're not covering any spreads really. They did cover at Philly in a 10-point loss, so they're having some issues here, but I think I like the total too much. I'm going to try the Hornets plus 11.5 here. There's my aunt coming through. Thank you, Aunt Sandy, stopping by. Thank you. Let's have a big day today. Justin's on the Hawks game to go under, and Textiles said take Miami here in that game against Atlanta, by the way. So I'm going to try Charlotte plus the points here in this one. Feels like a pretty ugly dog, but hey, Thunder, come on. You can't be totally motivated for every game if you're the Thunder here. Although, no doubt, Thunder 18, 10-1 against the spread as a favorite. Charlotte just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10. They are 7-8-1 against the spread at home. Charlotte has gone under in 3 straight games overall. Oklahoma City usually beats up on these bad teams right now, but all right. Nuke says, bet the NBA. It's his favorite sport. All right. Thank you, Joe T. He's got his plays up in the community tab here on YouTube. Joe with his best plays for today. Check him out on the community tab. Robert took the Hornets with me. Next up, Knicks taking on the Wizards here. The Knicks on the road. They're a double-digit favorite against the old Wizards here in this one. You got the Knicks here, a 5-game winning streak overall right now for the Knicks. Also, they've won 5 straight on the road. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under the total. This number pretty high here at 229. Knicks maybe up to 13 in a few spots right now, but I'm going to update this total. It's actually moved down here right now to 227.5 in this one. These two teams did meet back on November the 18th. It was 134-106. The Knicks got the win and the cover in that game. See if you guys have anything in this one with the Knicks and the Wizards. New York has defeated the Wizards in 6 straight here right now. Is that right? 6 straight meetings overall. Now, Washington did get the money last year in a meeting that was in New York. Meeting here last year was 121-105. Knicks with the win and the cover. Here, I'm going to try the under in this one with the Knicks and the Wizards. Roberts on the Wizards here in this one. Bo Jackson, thank you very much today. Good to have you here in the chat. All right, next up, it's the Bucks and the Bulls here. The Bucks are favored in this one they're up to 3.5. I think maybe everybody learned their lesson with they got to update the line here for sure in this one. And the total up a point to 230 here, right? Everyone maybe tried to get a little cute in that last game. I couldn't do it. Remember, the Bulls have owned the Bucks have owned the Bulls in this series, but maybe the Bucks were not at full strength. The Bulls got a lot of attention from the betting public. It didn't matter. The Bucks beat them by 21 points in Chicago back just 5 days ago. Remember, as people want to get back on the Bucks. I mean, on the Bulls in that series. So Chicago here's gone under in 4 straight games at home. Chicago has defeated the Bulls in 16 of the last 19 meetings between these two teams. That might be good enough just to put me on the Bucks again here now that the line has moved uh, up at least a point and a half here in this one. The Bulls have actually lost and failed in 3 straight at Atlanta, at home against Milwaukee, and at home against Boston. For Milwaukee, they are off of that loss against Brooklyn, but they did win and cover against the Bulls in that game we mentioned, and against the Wizards before that at home as an 8.5 point favorite. And they got the money. The Bulls are 15-10 to the over as an underdog. I think these in this roll. Man, the spread's all the way up to 230 here. Give me the over in this one as my free play. I'm gonna have to save the Bucks. I'm gonna premium the Bucks here. It feels like in this one, but for two teams that I don't know, the Bucks are 13-17 to the under, but some of their road games have been, or more so as a favorite. And I think if they're going to win this game, it's probably going to go over. So I'll take the over here in this one with Milwaukee and Chicago. The Bulls, 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under, and Chicago's been going under. Let's see here. 5 of their last 6 at home under. I'm still taking the over in this one. If the Bucks are going to win, I think over. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got Robert McCormick on the Bucks. Flea Mathis, thank you. Had a great time with the guys at the game last night. Appreciate it. And appreciate your support here. All right. Next up, Suns and Warriors here in this one, with the Warriors a little bit of spiraling here, it feels like, at this point. Both teams did play last night. Suns failed against the Mavs yesterday, of course. Kind of a not a great performance for sure. 98-89 against the Luka-less Mavs, and the Phoenix Suns continue to spiral here, it feels like, not playing well at this point, but the Warriors are having their own problems. They've lost and failed in 3 straight against the Clippers, against the Lakers, and against the Pacers. That game last night, of course, against the Clippers, they were playing shorthanded. We had the Clippers as a premium pick. We had the under as a premium pick as well. And with these Warriors right now, and even the Suns have been pretty steady, it feels like, to the under of late. But man, the Suns are 10-3 to the over on the road this season. So see what you want to do here. Phoenix has gone under in 5 of their last 6, mostly because of the struggles that they've had, though. And I would think that today we will see Curry here and everybody get back into the lineup. Draymond is probable here as well. Devin Booker, he is still out of this game at this point. So, all right, let's see what you can do here. This is a tricky handicap here in this one with these two. The Warriors also have gone under in 4 of their last 5 games overall. I'm going to just try the under as my free play. Like I said, I kind of want to go premium with the under here in this one, but the Suns keep going over on the road right now. This line is currently 219.5 or so. Okay, give me the under here with the Suns and the Warriors as my play. Robert's on the Suns here. I think we've got a late goal here in Italian League action. As Monza, I think, has scored. How about it? Stacking Cream has some props action here. All right, well, I think what is Genoa leads Empoli 2-1. Where is my Italian soccer picks here? I just bet the games, but all right, let me keep it moving here on the show. Thank you, Futon Bets here today. Fernando says Parma got the goal. Thank you there. Thank you, Fernando. Can't see that one's over on my side here. All right, Pistons and the Nuggets here. You got the Nuggets, a 6-point favorite, maybe down to 5.5 here, and the total here as well. That's just wrong.
Steam play.
Hold on. That's just a typo there for sure. We just copied the wrong total there on the other game. That's what it was. Okay, so Nuggets by 6, the total 232.5. That's more like it. Or is it? With the Pistons and the Nuggets here in this one. Let's take a look with this one. You got the Pistons here. They're playing pretty well. 1-3 straight, 6-1. Their last 7 games on the road coming in. They're kind of a cover machine at this point. 14-8-1 against the spread as an underdog. The widely reported steam did come in on the over, and why not? We've seen overs from these two teams for sure. Denver 18-10 to the over this season, including 8-5 to the over at home. Detroit 13-9-1 to the over as an underdog. Denver's been a terrible cover for sure this season. They're just 5-14-1 as a favorite. So I'm going to take the over here in this one with Detroit and Denver. I think for sure we've seen Denver, listen to this one, over in 9 straight games against Eastern Conference opponents. I don't mind that necessarily, especially for a team that is producing some overs here right now. Now, the Pistons do sometimes have trouble with their offense on the road, but I think the total here lends to the fact that we will see plenty of scoring. So I'm going to take it to go over here. Denver usually smashes wins against these sub 500 teams, but getting the money it feels like another issue. Detroit, like I said, they're covering as a dog for sure. Denver's won 8 of the last 9 meetings between the two, but it's Detroit that's the hot cover right now. I'm going to take the over, though, as my play here on the show. And Thomas says, take Detroit in this one. And I'm watching Empoli right here. Yeah, I thought Monza tied it. Right, that's what I saw. Monza tied it. They're playing a man down, right? Robert here on Denver. Fernando likes Jokic. Rebounds. All right, I'm on the over in that one. Let's keep it moving here right now. We're doing good on progress. Hope we're not going too fast here on some of the picks. Here today, the Sixers are on the road, and they're a 7-point favorite against the Jazz. Total 223.5. It feels like this one might be on the move here a little bit to the high side. We've seen the widely reported steam come in on the over here in this one in Utah. They've had some overs as well here right now. They've gone over in 8 of their last 9 games overall. Here at this point. Now, Utah's been struggling, no doubt about it, especially here at home. They're just 3-8-1 against the spread at home. They've lost 5 straight games at home. Philadelphia usually is able to handle their business against subpar teams for sure, but they're not a great cover, 5-7 against the spread as a favorite. 11-17 is a favorite overall, just not great against the spread. Utah's actually showed some signs of life here, covering right now in 4 straight games. They've gotten a little bit healthier. We know they're still not very good, one of the weaker teams in the league, but Philadelphia 5-1 straight up, 5-1 against the spread. Last 6 on the road. They're starting to get it in gear here a little bit. They have failed in a few games as a favorite at home. It feels like as a favorite isn't as great of a situation really for the two teams, but I'm going to take the Utah Jazz here in this one, plus the points against the Sixers, figuring it's just going to be a few too many points for a team right now. Look, the Sixers might be doing their best work on the road, but Utah is a team starting to cover some numbers here. Remember, the great thing about Utah now could be that angle. First came back from a road trip. Maybe they won't be that good, but I like the fact that Utah covered 4 straight games on the road before this. So I'm going to take Utah here in this one. All right, let's see here. Philly and under for Robert, and Stacking Cream has some props in there as well. I'll keep it moving. Mavericks and Blazers here with the Mavericks, a road favorite by 4.5. The total down here to 222. Room 222 here with the Mavericks taking on the Blazers here. Look, the Mavericks just keep covering. It feels like we saw last night getting the job done against Phoenix. No Luka, no problem here as the Mavericks got the win and the cover. We'll see what has to happen here on a back-to-back. Portland's had some woes here lately against the spread. They beat Utah the other night, but didn't cover as a favorite. That doesn't seem like a great role necessarily for Portland. Dallas is 11-8 against the spread as a favorite, but they are coming in here having to lay some points on the road, but Dallas has covered the last 5 meetings against Portland here. Portland's gone over in 5 straight at home. The series has gone over in 5 straight as well. The widely reported Steam came in on the over here in this one, but the total only seems to have gone down. It might be broken here at this point. I'm taking the Mavericks here to keep it going, keep the momentum here, even without Luka right now. And, just a bummer that we're not going to see, Luka for a month here, it feels like. So Dallas is already going to have to learn how to cope without Luka here. But Portland has some injuries here as well with Kamara questionable, Banton questionable. I think he missed the last game. Robert Williams questionable as well. All right, some steam came in here on the NFL game between Miami and Cleveland. We're seeing some steam here on Sunday in the game between Miami and Cleveland. Also seeing a little bit of a move on the side as well. All of a sudden now you have Miami about a 5.5 point favorite here or so. The move is on Cleveland here a little bit. Total is all the way down here to 36. You know what that means. I mean, the weather is probably coming in here in Cleveland. Let me know, Thomas, what's happening in Cleveland tomorrow. This feels more like weather rather than an injury related. We're seeing the total Miami and Cleveland. And if it's cold, we know Tua doesn't like that, but the total is down here to 36 in the Miami-Cleveland game tomorrow. All right, one more game in the NBA tonight. As we got Mavs and under here for Robert. We've got Ray Otachi with a bet there, Philly first half. All right, Kings and Lakers here tonight with the Lakers a small favorite. Of course, in fact, they're down to 1.5 here in this one. I don't know. Maybe the line's telling you something. Remember, the Kings just fired their coach yesterday among a big hullabaloo in the coaching fraternity with Mike Brown getting fired yesterday. Look, it's been a bad year for the Kings right now. You're always expecting more, but it rarely comes out. Here's the breaking news here right now. I think we should probably break the breaking news ladder out right. Maybe here. What we're seeing, I don't know if I can quite go with this yet. I'm looking for just maybe one more source. I'm a 2 and 3 source guy, but we see the move coming in down to 35 now in Cleveland. Waddle, Tua, Hill, Waddle, they're all likely out of the game tomorrow against the Cleveland Browns. Miami will be without some of their top players in that game tomorrow, which, begs the question, Miami's still alive in the postseason. They probably will be eliminated by tomorrow. But nonetheless, it does sound like now that those players will be out. This line is moving dramatically here. If you want to take your shot with Cleveland here in this one, you could. I would imagine this one could continue to move after this. So, again, just repeating, Tua, Tyreek, and Jalen Waddle. It feels like all these guys are going to be out tomorrow in that game, and we're seeing the massive drop here on the total in this one down to 35. All right, I think that's the pretty much the breaking news portion of it here right now, and we'll keep moving here though with the basketball. Probably could have. Okay, here we go. Lakers and Kings. Last game here on the NBA card. We did that pretty well on time here with this one. So, Kings have gone under in 6 of their last 7. Look at this move. It's definitely on the Kings here tonight with the game against the Lakers. It makes you wonder what the Lakers are going to be doing here personnel-wise in this one. Maybe there's an issue here. Hey, just let everybody know we're on the 5-minute warning here with Connecticut North Carolina bowl game ready to go off here in Boston. So if you haven't bet on that one yet, we're getting ready to go our first game of the day here in 5 minutes in that one. So, all right, here it is. The injury report, though, for the Lakers. AD and LeBron questionable. LeBron's not feeling too well here, actually, and could miss the game. Hachimura also under the weather, so Lakers are feeling a little something maybe in that clubhouse. Sabonis missed the last game with an illness as well, and he is questionable for Sacramento, but I'm going to take Sacramento in this one. I think the line is screaming here. Do the Kings have big problems here for firing the coach yesterday? Yes, maybe. I'm going to trust the Sharps here. The move is obviously on the Kings here in this one right now. I'll try the Kings. Look, there's no trends. They're going to tell you to play the Kings. They're 10 and 20 against the spread. Mike Brown, he's had some success. He's gotten fired from some jobs too, but everyone loves this guy. So the coaching community was rallying around him a little bit, but we'll see. They made the change, so we know things aren't going well for Sacramento, but they're the ones seeing the move. I'm just going to trust the move on this one. Maybe the Lakers should win. Maybe they'll be short of personnel here tonight, actually. So Sacramento's covered 4 out of the last 5 meetings here in LA against the Lakers. Lakers are 4-1 ATS last 5 games. The Kings haven't covered in a month, it feels like, right now, and the Lakers are actually doing a pretty good job. So kind of a peculiar line move, if you know what I mean. Lakers have gone under in 4 of their last 5. The widely reported steam came in on the under. This one might be 223. It's 221. Yeah, it's gonna be 219 or so. It might be even lower than that by the time this one rolls around. So better send out those plays. We better get those premiums out there. Probably gonna go under tonight for sure. I think that's what Fernando's saying. You got to go on. Oh, he was talking about under in the football game here. Cleveland Thomas says if it's DTR, whoever it is, Cash Kane likes the Lakers here. Yeah, it wasn't the weather, Thomas. We found out, right? We found out real quick. We probably could have went with breaking news there. I just wasn't able to get my third source. I got 2, and I think it's an injury, a cluster injury. I could have gotten a third source, but it feels automatic. When the line's moving, that's source enough for me, if you know what I mean. So, okay, that's it for the NBA. All right, we got to go NHL. There's even more games in the NBA here, and we got college basketball at the top of the hour. So let's go with these NHL plays today. We're going to go fast here, too. It's already 11 Eastern here now, 8 Pacific. Montreal taking on Florida here in this one. This is usually a tough spot for Montreal. As much as maybe we've kind of, they've been okay here a little bit, making a little bit of money. here. Montreal has actually won 3 out of their last 4. Florida was hot before they got stunned there in that second of the back-to-back against Tampa. I remember we went on Tampa on that one. I think we had that series right on, right? Or at least, well, we did have Tampa, that's for sure. So, all right. In this one, though, Florida's won 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two, won 5 straight meetings between the two teams at home. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone over when playing here in Florida. I mean, why wouldn't it? Montreal's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games here right now. So, see what you want to do if you in this one. This is a 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific game. So see what you want in this standalone game this afternoon with the Canadians and the Panthers. Florida's covered 5 straight puck lines at home against Montreal. They took the steam. They're the ones that are 340 or higher here right now. Maybe it's the DraftKings 340. Give me the puck line on the Panthers. Even I know my Habs probably won't get this one. Panthers are just 11-16 on the puck line as a favorite. Canadians actually 17-14, and they're getting the right price. But I got to take Florida here to crush in this one. Cash Canes with me here.
Final.
Yep. No, that's what I said, Thomas. I did see it. You said 61, and I said, yeah, the weather obviously not a factor. It is the fact that Miami is missing their, 3 of their top 4 offensive weapons, I would say. Philly Eagle Flyer on the over here. All right, next up. Kraken taking on the Canucks. Oh, or maybe I get it now, Thomas. I was supposed to. You're stoked that it's 61 degrees. You're saying, did you hear? It's like it's downright balmy out there. Maybe that's what Thomas meant. I was supposed to acknowledge what a spectacular weekend it is in Cleveland, Ohio. There. All right. Here we go. Next up with the Kraken taking on the Canucks. Here, the Kraken are on their own losing streak here right now. But hey, look, the Canucks are at home, and that's not where they fare very well. So, whatever's going on with the Kraken right now, it's not going very good. But Vancouver is in their role where they're not doing very well either. They've lost 13 straight games. Vancouver has when coming off of a home win. Now they are back to back here, albeit, and they're not the Canucks as much as you would like them to be.
System play.
You wonder why I typed that in there on accident. There we go. I might be knocked off the air again here if we get too crazy. All right. Seattle here struggling 8-16 on the road. Vancouver 12-18 or 8-16 is a dog, I should say, for Seattle right now. But Vancouver, this is just a dreadful role for them coming in. This is not the role that they're very good in here, but they're only $1.35. They're obviously the hotter team right now. They're 17-10-7. Seattle just 15-19-2. Does feel like an okay price, but pardon me. Let's see what you guys. I might need some help on this one. Let's see what we got on some of these trends here, though. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over. 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Wow. And total still here. Still just at 5.5. I don't think I can. Look, Vancouver's had some issues at home for sure. But this Seattle team is not doing anything, it feels like right now. I'm going to have to take this at a as a reasonable price here at $1.35. It's even lower right now. So I'm going to fade the trend a little bit. I'm going to take Vancouver here and figure they should be hotter here. Maybe this is the one that Seattle breaks out of it, but I can't trust them right now. Things are going too bad, it feels like. All right. Here with Billy Eagle Flyer likes the Canucks here in this one, and Robert likes the Canucks as well, and the under. Here's Billy Eagle Flyer likes Canucks team total over. And Cash Kane says, you know what? Maybe it is for Seattle to break that losing streak right now. Since, like I said, Vancouver, that's a pretty weak, pretty serious trend here, right? Adam Hurley, hello. And Dave, thank you. Dave, thank you for a great time last night and for setting everything up, making it as easy as it can be for me. That's what I need. I need it set out to be easy. So thank you again, Dave. All right. Let's move on here right now with the Oilers taking on the Kings in this one. You got the Oilers, a road favorite here. And how about that? I get it. You know, Oilers are hot here, having won 3 in a row. Maybe the Kings are cooling down a little bit. I don't want them to, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. Edmonton has won 8 of 9 here right now. They are hot, but the Kings have won 5 straight at home. We got a nice afternoon feature here for sure. Edmonton's had the Kings number. I get that. They've won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams, but the Kings are still 10-2 at home this season. 2 teams haven't met yet so far this season, so maybe the Kings can turn around against them. Kings have gone under in 6 of their last 7 games at home right now, and these two teams are unders, right? Kings are 11-20 overall to the under, and Edmonton just they trend under a little bit here. It seems like, but I think even more so these Kings games against conference foes seem to go under here. Maybe the Kings could keep this one close here. They've also won 7 straight at home off of a road loss. So I know the Oilers dominate my Kings, but I'm going to try the Kings as a dog here today. Kings right now at plus $1.10 or so. And maybe it is moving a little bit toward the Kings here, it feels like. And I'm going to try the Kings. Go ahead with your plays. I'm going to dial up my tweet deck here, see if I can get the loadout. I think we're all good on that Miami story, but in the chat we've got thank you to Adam here for your birthday wishes as well. Jermaine here, Oilers team total over. And yep, they've had their number. And here's Robert McCormick says, yeah, maybe this one is set for an under today. Got to keep it moving here right now with the Flyers taking on the Ducks. Hey, why not just play the 2 games in the Southern California area at the same time? Sure, I'm sure they'll both be sellouts. There's enough hockey fans to go around for everybody. All right, the Flyers, both teams actually come in off of a loss here. Flyers lost to Pittsburgh 7-3 last time out. The Ducks lost to the Knights 3-1. The Ducks have actually been hot. They've won a few games here of late for sure. So hats off to the Ducks here as the Flyers come in to Anaheim. Here, Anaheim has lost 9 of their last 10 games at home when coming off of a road loss. The Flyers here do pretty well against on this trip. Let me see what's going on here exactly on this. Pittsburgh was the first stop, and now they're coming out to the West Coast. So they obviously went home for Christmas and now coming out here for the West Coast swing. Philadelphia is struggling, though, definitely a little bit here of late. I'm probably apt to take the dog here in this game as the Flyers is a road favorite. I never want to lay the Flyers here, but they have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams at Anaheim. I remember now my first Anaheim Ducks game was against the Flyers. Man, that was some time ago. Must have been 20 years ago or so. I'm going to try the Ducks here. Not because of that, but I'm going to go with Anaheim. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under here in Anaheim, and we could get that kind of game here today, although 4 of the last 5 games overall. The ones in Philly are basically going over. The ones here on the West Coast between these two teams seem to go under. I'm going to try the dog here again with the Ducks today. Right now it's down to $1. No, it's probably $1.45 or $1.50, and the total 6/20. All right. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the over, also first period. Both teams to score and over in the first period. Capitals and the Leafs tonight as we get into hockey night. Now with the Leafs favored $1.35 here. In fact, I think this one's a pick 'em, right? Yep. Pretty serious move here. It feels like on the Capitals today, as this one rates right now as a pick 'em or so. So I think that's significant here, actually. And I might actually end up here on the Capitals in this game. I'm going to respect the move. Caps coming in here off of a loss against Boston. Toronto did beat Detroit. We had them on that game against the Red Wings last time out, but they did lose to Winnipeg. They lost to the Islanders at home before that. Washington had wins at home against the Kings and against Carolina here, but I'm going to take Washington on the road as my pick here against Toronto tonight. Hockey night in this one. Toronto has covered the puck line 5 of the last 6 meetings against Washington. In fact, several of those games, I believe, were as favorites. Let's see here. Washington won the meeting just 3 weeks ago, 3-1 at Toronto, here at Toronto. So I'm going to take them to do it again, actually, in this one. Toronto's gone over in 5 straight games. Washington's gone under in 5 of their last 6 on the road and under in 5 straight overall. I'm going to take the Capitals here. Philly Eagle Flyers with me on the Caps. Robert's on the Caps here as well. I'm going to go next to the Devils. We're getting there. We're going to wrap it up here soon. We got to get rolling. Devils and the Panthers here in this one. Panthers favored in this one, $1.35-ish. Here for the, what am I saying? I knew I was having a problem. Panthers. They're playing the Hurricanes, of course. Only the second time this week I've done that. There we go. Sorry, you guys. At least I caught it earlier this time. All right, here we go now with the Hurricanes at home. Now we got it right. Taking on New Jersey. New Jersey 24-11-3. Carolina 21-13-1. So Carolina's lost 2 straight, but this is still probably one of the better matchups of the day here for sure. You got a Carolina team, or let's see, New Jersey has won 3 straight games, covering the puck line in all 3 games against Carolina, against the Rangers, and against Pittsburgh. So the game the other night was in New Jersey. It was a 4-2 win, and they'll come back here and face again. Remember, that was the one where New Jersey's gone under in 10 of their last 11 games, right? They had gone under in 10 straight games before going over in that game against Carolina. That was definitely down there at 5.5. Carolina's won 5 straight meetings at home against the Devils, and they've won 13 of their 16 games at home so far this season. New Jersey's been getting their puck lines, that's for sure. New Jersey here right now 3-1 as a puck line dog so far this season, but you got to lay pretty big number here to take that puck line. 2 teams that are definitely going under right now for sure here. New Jersey 5-10-1 to the under on the road, including all those unders in a row. So I'm going to take the under in this one and figure, I got jinxed last time trying the under after 10 straight New Jersey unders, and it happened to go over. So I'll take it as a free play here at 6. There were some 6.5 juice to the unders out there, so maybe it's not even the best price. But I'll try the under here as my play on the show. here comes Canes over again here for Philly Eagle Flyer. Robert takes the Canes. Philly Eagle Flyer says first period, both teams score go over 1.5. Hello to Truth Teller. And Thomas Lewis is talking about that play, right? Didn't take the what was it? That's what I was talking to the guys about. Maybe it was that game where
Final.
what was it? On the second overtime when you're the home team or the team that gets the ball second, you're supposed to go for 2 every time because the third round are just 2-point conversions anyways. So why would you go for a 2 when all you're going to do is go for 2 again in the third overtime? Always go for 2 in the bottom round of the second overtime. Automatically. I mean, you have to go for 2, but I'm just saying, what was it? The first, I'm trying to remember now. I think I blew that story there. You have to go for 2 in the second round. Maybe Thomas can remind. The dude messed up. That's right. That's all there was to it. All right. Hey, we talked about the Ducks, right, and how I was on them, and maybe it was just me right now, but the steam's coming in right now on the Ducks against the Flyers for sure here. Anaheim was $1 plus $1.30, but they're going to be down here to probably plus $1.20 or so. There's some steam coming in on the Ducks right now. Maybe it was me that set it off. All right, next up, gonna keep it going here right now with the Rangers taking on the Lightning here in this one. You got the Rangers here coming in 16-7-1, Lightning 19-11-2, big favorite here against the struggling Rangers. Have lost 2 in a row again now to New Jersey and Carolina. They're just 2-6 straight up as an underdog this season. For Tampa Bay, 14-6 as a favorite so far, 10-5 against the 10-5 at home so far this season. Rangers have gone under in 5 straight games on the road right now and 5 straight games overall, including some home games there. And that game against Carolina that they lost, that one stayed under as well. Tampa Bay's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams here. The line has gone from $1.70, maybe down a nickel or so here in this one, but still a pretty high price. Tampa Bay definitely having their way with the Rangers in this series. The teams haven't met, however, yet this season. Tampa Bay's covered 6 straight as a puck line favorite right now. Man, they're in a pretty good groove here, it feels like. They did lose that game to Florida, remember, but it's been all systems go for the Lightning here of late. I'm going to take the Lightning here. Pretty big price, so I won't put it in as a premium, but I'm going to have to think that even at $1.65, maybe it's still an okay price here as a big favorite against the Rangers. We're definitely having their problems. Sorry we haven't kept too much on the goalies today from what we were expecting, but Panthers have Spencer Knight. The Canadians will have Dobes in there, and he'll be making his NHL debut in that game against Florida. Maybe we should make note of this. With the Canadians expected to put Primo on waivers, we'll see Jacob Dobbs in here to make his NHL debut, the former 5th-round draft choice in the 2020 draft from Ohio State, was playing at Laval Rocket, and he was 9-3-1. So Spencer Knight is in there for the Panthers in that one. So we didn't have the goalies, I don't think, right in that one at all, but no big deal there. But definitely something of note as I see these goalies here right now. We already gave out Panthers on the puck line there in that one. Urson is confirmed in the matchup against the Ducks. Dostal is in there for the Ducks today. Thatcher Demko in there for Vancouver, my man from Scripps Ranch, San Diego. going up against Grubauer in the goal, likely in the goal. Demko is confirmed. Skinner confirmed for the Oilers today against the Kings. Connor Hellebuck in there likely for the Jets today against Ottawa. Vasilevsky here in this one, likely to go against the Rangers. Vasilevsky, 2.4 goals against average and a 91% save percentage. Let's keep it rolling right now with the Blue Jackets taking on the Bruins here in this one. Let me make sure I got your comments in there, gang. Sorry about that. Robert on the under there. Billy Eagle Flyer on some lightning. Here we go. Blue Jackets taking on the Bruins here in this one. The Bruins 19-14-4. Blue Jackets 15-15-6. Of course, these teams just met last night with the final. What did we have? Well, we had the Blue Jackets in that one as our play here on the Morning Steam show. So Blue Jackets got that win. And now they'll turn it around, though, and head back to Boston here in this one with Swayman in goal. Could be Jet Greaves, could be Daniil Tarasov in this one for the Blue Jackets. But for Swayman, a 3.18 goals against average, 88% save percentage here in this one. With the Bruins coming in, Columbus, they've not done well in this role. They've failed to cover the puck line in 10 straight games on a back-to-back. I got to take the Bruins here in this one. A decent price for the puck line, especially given that, I don't know, that's pretty solid stat here. Columbus has lost 10 straight on the back-to-back and failed to cover the puck line in those games. So got to try the Bruins here. Bruins haven't been awful, even though they did lose in the last game to this Columbus team. But before that, they beat Washington, cover the puck line. Beat Buffalo at home, cover the puck line. So I'm going to try them here on the puck line in this one. They are plus money, as a matter of fact. So give me the Bruins here in this one. Both these, the Blue Jackets are solid over, but the Bruins are going under here pretty much big time right now. Let's see here. Bruins, I think we have those numbers here. 10-15-1 to the under as a favorite right now. So Columbus has gone over in 4 of their last 5. They've covered 8 of the last 11 puck lines in Boston, but Boston here for me on the puck line tonight. All right. Cash Kane says the Bruins owe him one. Philly Eagle Flyer says give me the Bruins game to go over. And Philly Eagle Flyer was with me yesterday on Columbus. And that is something to consider. I mean, obviously both teams are on a back-to-back, but Columbus has had a hard time on the back-to-backs for sure. Senators taking on the Jets here in this one, with the Jets, of course, favored here, minus $1.70 against Ottawa. Ottawa's been playing well, we know that, but they finally had their winning streak snapped last time out to the Edmonton Oilers, but they're on plenty of rest here. No games for 6 days for Ottawa. Coming into this one, Winnipeg's been hot. Wins over Toronto and Minnesota here as well of late. These two teams have gone under a lot in this series for sure. In fact, you look at this one with Ottawa and Winnipeg, and let me see here. I'd look at it if I had my notes up right. Okay, here we go. 4 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under, and you have two teams that, I think they're going under for the most part. You have Ottawa here, 5-9 to the under as a dog. Meanwhile, Winnipeg, 6-9 to the under at home, 11-15 to the under as a favorite. Ottawa's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall. Ottawa's been hot. No doubt about it that maybe they could hang in here. Winnipeg's won 4 out of the last 5 meetings between these two teams, but Ottawa 9-5 against the on the puck line here. Still $1.90 in this one. I got to try the Winnipeg Jets as a favorite here at $1.55 or $1.60 here in this one. Give me the Jets over Ottawa here today. And we've got Philly Eagle Flyer on the Jets here, and he's on the Bruins as well. Robert likes the under here in this one. Who wouldn't, right? All right, I think we got a couple more here real quick. We're almost done with hockey, and then we'll do a few basketball games. Got to wrap up this show, get this football. I don't even have the football game on here. We could be glancing at it. Joe was nice enough to tell us that we did get off to a good start there, right, with that field goal for the Huskies there. And what is it right now? It's still 3-0 here, I believe. Let's take a look, right? All right. 3-0 there. All right, here we go. A few more games here. We got to get out of here, man, for sure. Penguins and Islanders here in this one. The Islanders 13, 15, and 7. Penguins 16, 15, and 5. Penguins coming off of a win here against the Flyers. Remember, 7-3 in that one. Penguins have had a pretty decent run here, it feels like, of late, while the Islanders, not so much. They lost to Buffalo last time out 7-1. They beat Toronto, remember, on the road, but before that they lost to Carolina. They lost to Chicago on the second end of a home and home. So I don't think the Islanders have looked that great actually here, but maybe the series kind of favors them in this against Pittsburgh. Here you got the Islanders have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams at home against Pittsburgh. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, including 5 straight meetings here at the New York Islanders. And man, the Islanders 20-13 to the over, the Penguins 20-15 to the over. Maybe the Islanders can win this one. They haven't been playing well of late, but at $1.45 or so, I'm going to take another favorite here on Saturday night with the Islanders. Could be some volatility here with a high-scoring game, it feels like. Cash Kane says, give me the Isles. Philly Eagle Flyer maybe likes to draw here. Thomas Lewis is calling for a 3-0 game. Let's see here. Philly Eagle Flyer likes the over. Robert McCormick says go over in this one. I'm going to take the Islanders here. All right, one more tonight. Let's get to it. Late action here on the West Coast. Only one late game tonight with the Sharks at home, an underdog against Calgary. The Sharks have lost a billion games in a row, it seems like right now, but they do get the puck line in some of these. Now, they did fail against Vegas last night. I tried to go with them here on the show and also had the under yesterday. NHL, we had 2 winners, but it was not a great night in the NHL. It kind of brought us down a little bit. We did have the Leafs and the Red Wings game to go over, and we had the Wild and the Stars under, but other than that, it was few and far between, even on the show here. I did have the Columbus Blue Jackets, as I said. We also had the Devils in that game against the Hurricanes. We also had the Sabres. Actually, the show picks were pretty good, weren't they? We had Toronto yesterday as well. We had Avalanche and Utah under. Okay, maybe that's what you guys were talking about there a little bit with some of the good hockey. I guess the picks weren't too bad on the show. Hopefully they'll be good today. Here we go. Flames and Sharks here. So Flames off of a win here against the Blackhawks, and they've covered the puck line in 4 straight games, including 3 spots as an underdog, and they got it done against Chicago as a favorite. Meanwhile, for San Jose, they're struggling, no doubt about it, but they're still 25-13 as a puck line underdog. So they play close games. They just can never win. This one feels like, kind of an exact toss-up. Like maybe it could be just a 1-goal game here in this one. Now, the Flames have gone under in 7 of their last 10 games overall, but San Jose's gone over in 6 of their last 7 games at home. Calgary's gone over in 5 of their last 6 games on the road. I'm going to go over in this one. Total here, I think, is reasonable at 6 over 20, maybe over 25 for the most part. I'm going to go over tonight with the Flames and the Sharks. You know I'm going to bet the Sharks again and just not tell anybody about it. All right, here I think Flames here for Cash Kane. Robert's going to be on the over. Philly Eagle Flyer says go under in regulation. First period full game draw. Sharks money line. First period under. Flames puck line for Jermaine. And he says only if those are if Vladar and Askarov. I actually didn't look at the box score from last night's game on the Sharks there. On my late night, I guess I can't get to all the things I want to do in life, but nonetheless, Calgary over in 7 straight as a favorite coming off of a home win. And we mentioned those other overs too. Calgary has trouble sometimes on some of these puck lines. Their puck line record is a favorite, just 4-6 here right now, but they are getting some nice plus money today. So, all right, I guess that's it in hockey. Give me the over in that one. I'll have a hockey package and an NBA package today. We've got just a couple of basketball games to look at. Maybe we'll just go with the picks. We had some steam results, so hopefully that'll get everybody by today. Like I said, I'm light on this, at least with picks today on this college basketball card in the early action. So I'll have a college basketball package today over at Winnable, but we can just cover some of these early. All I have is the marquee matchups today. We're going to start off with Ole Miss taking on Memphis here. Yeah, this is a marquee matchup for sure. You got Ole Miss 11-3 coming in, 11-1 coming in. Memphis 9-3. It doesn't feel like they should be, non-ranked here at this point. It feels like the steam came in on Memphis. They're up to 1.5 here, total 153.5. You know I'm on Memphis in this one. We've had success on this Ole Miss winning streak, it feels like, but you know what? They failed to cover in their last 2 games. Now they were massive favorites against Queens College and Southern U. That's a little bit. I don't know if you want to be playing Queens College, Southern U, Southern Miss. They did cover 23. Linwood, they did cover 31. So they have not been playing tough teams, and now you got to go in and take on the Memphis Tigers. I like the Memphis Tigers, I think, in this one over Ole Miss. Like I said, we had success a little bit with Ole Miss. I think we actually lost one of those crazy games. I think I laid it a little bit, but I'm more apt to trust Ole Miss in this spot. You got the old non-ranked team at home favored, right? Mississippi ranked, Ole Miss not ranked, and they're favored by 1.5. So I think Mississippi is the side to be choosing here today. It feels like so. Give me Memphis here in this one. Mississippi's had a good series against they've covered 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams. They meet annually. Mississippi won last year at home 80-77, but Mississippi did win here at home 2 years ago, covered 6.5 in an under. And I think you could probably look, this one I think feels like kind of underish here a little bit. The series has gone over in 6 of the last 8 games, and Memphis has been going over a little bit here as well. But I'll just take my play as Memphis here in this one. But, man, I'm probably more apt to go under in a game like this. I know the teams are trending over. All right, I better move on here. You know what? I've selected a couple of games here today I want to just mention because, like I said, some of the good games aren't even on regular TV or on the streaming services. So, here we go with some of the – let me go to the chat a little bit here. A little bit of Ole Miss maybe there. Ready, Samedi, hello. Nice to have you. Keith, each and every stride, ready for the action here on the track today. Memphis and over here for Robert. He does like the over. Look, Memphis has been going over for sure. 4-1 to the over at home. Mississippi, 2-0 to the over as a dog. So, all right. I just know that these Ole Miss games. Let me see what. Look at these scores for Ole Miss. So, 140. Well, 142. That's way short of that, right? All right, give me Memphis here. We gotta go. We gotta wrap up this show. Jermaine likes Ole Miss as well. Too long of a show. Too many games today. All right, this one's on CBS, so we're gonna look at it. The HBCU showcase today. 2 games with good matchups here. You got NC Central going up against North Carolina A&T. Now, these 2 teams have been going over for sure in their games so far this season. These guys are strong overs so far. You got Central's actually a favorite here now, probably by about 1.5, I think. There we go, 1.5 total. Down to 156.5 here, maybe in this one. I think the move under might be the right move. But A&T is 9-3 to the over this season. But again, these are teams that have kind of been playing good teams, right? And they've been getting run out of the building a little bit in some. I say that actually, North Carolina Central is 6-9 overall. They did get the money against Longwood. They played back-to-back games, I think, against Longwood here. But I'm actually going to end up on the under here in this game with North Carolina A&T and North Carolina State. Oh. Steam Play got cut off there. There we go. Computer froze. All right. For me, when I see this, you got North Carolina A&T, these home games that they play, usually when they're playing a similar ilk, they are often under. Yes, they've had some overs here for sure, but only 3 games at home so far, and they've gone 1-2 to the under, including one against Coastal. Now, Coastal might be a little bit above them, certainly, but it went for 141 points. And they played Greensboro at a total had a 149, and that game finished 67 to 55. So I've got the under in this one with North Carolina Central and North Carolina A&T. Gonzaga is taking on UCLA in a nice matchup here. This one's being played at the Intuit Dome there in Los Angeles. So that's the Clippers' new arena this year, and UCLA is going to be there as a 4.5-point dog. Total here 148. Bruins had their 4-game winning streak snapped last time out by losing that wild game to North Carolina 76-74. They actually didn't even get the money. Remember, UCLA was favored in that game. We're actually on Carolina. Remember, we had been on the Bruins. We said, hey, let's get on Carolina here. Handicappers that I see are pretty much on UCLA here. And look, I've been with UCLA, it feels like, but I want Gonzaga here. Yes, they're not covering any numbers. I get that, but I'm going to be on the Bruins. The steam came in on UCLA. The handicappers I follow are on UCLA. I'm on Gonzaga. I'm still on Gonzaga. Robert McCormick went with Central in that one, and Jermaine went under in that other game. Joe T says, look at Connecticut. We're going to start the day off with a win. Cash Kane says Gonzaga all day. Joe T likes the over in that one. All right, second game here real quick. Like I said, these are on CBS, so I thought it'd be a nice time to look at these historically black colleges and universities. And we got Howard taking on Hampton, the Bison on the road here in this one. They're going to be an underdog against Hampton. Hampton a 3-point favorite or so right now, and the total, sitting around 145, I want to say right now, maybe 144.5. The move is on Hampton. It's not 3 anymore. It's likely up to 4, maybe even 4.5 here, it feels like right now with Hampton. I like Hampton, and I was thinking about them as a premium, actually, but I'm going to go ahead and make it my play here on the show instead with Hampton here. Look, maybe this one could be an under again, kind of in the similar way I talked about the last game. But I think with Hampton, they may actually be in a situation where they're going to go. Look, they've been covering every game left and right. They're 7-2 against the spread so far. Their only game as a favorite, they did go over. I was really thinking about playing Hampton as a premium and giving out the over here on the show, but Howard is 2-4 to the under as a dog, but that was in some games against some pretty stiff competition. Howard here has coming off of a loss to Drexel as a 2-point dog. They did not cover. They did beat Wilmington as a 5-point dog at home, but give me Hampton in this one. The increased price at 4.5. I got to take Hampton. Robert McCormick's on Hampton. One more game I'm looking at tonight. It's with my San Diego State Aztecs taking on Utah State here. Look, I probably like the Aztecs, but I do know one thing. I've seen these games before. This San Diego against this team, against these Mountain West teams at home, Saturday afternoon. They play their best defense, it feels like, for some reason in these games. I'm going to end up on the under here at 140. I think it's went down here, right? 144, no doubt. San Diego State up to a 5-point favorite here. Total 144. Total. The move has been on the under here in this one. So I'm going to take the under in the game here with Utah State and San Diego State. That one goes off at 6 p.m. Eastern and 3 p.m. Pacific. The steam did come in on San Diego State, went from 4 to about 5 here in this one. And that is pretty much going to do it. There is a nice college basketball card, but catch me over at winnable.com. I'm going to have about, I think it's going to be, because I'm going to end up on mostly late action here, probably at least a 5-pack, if not more. San Diego State in these day games, they go under this number almost all the time. I promise you that. Should have been a premium. All right, that's going to do it for the show. We're going to have a drawing here real quick here. Robert McCormick on Utah State. Joe T. One. Oh, man, did UNC run the ball back? I'm seeing the man here, and he's trying to tackle him, but what's going on? Is he going out of bounds, kind of, with here? All right. Anyway, we got to wrap up the show. Let me do the commercial and set up the drawing, and here we go. Thank you for joining me here on the Morning Steam on my day. Yay! Thank you, everybody, for being here. And make sure you get my premium picks today. I'm going to have my best plays already up there for this bowl game, by the way. Touchdown I see there. But Connecticut is my play here in the bowl game. And we got another one coming up at the top of the hour with BC and Nebraska. So you can still get my plays for these bowl games today over at winnable.com. $4 for the day, $8 for the week, $20 for the month. Use the promo code STEAM. Click on the lower right-hand corner. The QR code there will take you to my Winnable page. And it's powered by Stripe, a really good payment processing company. You could trust them. So get my picks here over at winnable.com. All right, we're getting the drawing ready, you guys. I'm ready to go. Use the promo code STEAM to save 20%. Here we go. Let's get ready for our drawing. We got 65 of you in here today. And here we go with the drawing for our parlay or consensus parlay. Thomas will tell. I think it was it a 2-teamer only again? Maybe we'll win, or was it a 3-teamer? I think it was a. Let me see what it was here, you guys, on our consensus parlay. The Cincinnati Bengals. Did Thomas put it up there? Okay. The Cincinnati Bengals was one of the teams, followed by the UL Lafayette. I think it's a 2-teamer. I think there's only 2. We just previewed 8, 11, 20, 36, 41 games. and we had 2 teams that the consensus agreed on. So that's sports betting. Here we go with the drawing. I guess I'm not doing a good job. Here we go. Nuke, Tom, Elliot, Wine Time, Nunya, and Strategic, Erica, Subhuman, Wine Time, Nate the Great, Elliot Alvin, Sir Mackey, Dirty Reg. He got Dirty Reg. I never knew that Dirty Reg. I'm pretty sure that's some delicious meat on the screen right there, Dirty Reg. Thank you, Dirty Reg. Hopefully you'll win it today, even if it's just a few dollars. I want you to win here. That's it for the show. Thank you for joining me. Let's get out of here, gang. Let's get over to our sports betting day and have a great day. NFL action. Man, we've got it all going on. So thanks for checking me out here on the Morning Steam. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific time with the Morning Steam Sunday edition, NFL and more tomorrow. Check me out here. Thanks for all the wishes, you guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are the closest thing to friends that I've got. So thank you, everybody, once again for joining me here on the show and for all your support here on the Sports Money Network. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.